Are you filming now?
Yeah, I'm not just pointing the camera at you for no reason.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you what's happened.
Looking at the ceiling, thinking I could make a million. Like, what's the greatest feeling? Can I buy that soon as
Okay. I'm gonna tell you what's happened. We came to a potential business meeting. We had a proposal ready, everything ready. We thought we'll be the responsible businesses or business and be on time. We're 10 minutes early. We're sitting in the car like three little teenagers waiting for a text response to actually go into their office to the meeting. And we're ending up driving back because they're not even in the office because they got delayed. So lesson learned. We feel like three little teenagers. It's okay.
late until the morning. We don't worry what the kitchen clock says. Talking tales of ballin'. I let Jameson straight to your.
Not necessarily like struggles, but like this is the type of things you remember when you make it later on. It's like if I didn't have that, like I wouldn't appreciate it later on as much. You know what I mean? I hope that doesn't go in the way of actually us succeeding because I like it so much. Because my mind is just like, yeah, give me the struggle, bitch. I know I'll remember this very vividly when we work with like a massive gym or something like that, right? Yeah. It's just like, oh, do you remember those fucks? We'll beat that out, by the way.
Yeah.
All night, we be sipping all night. And she on that all night. I be on my phone like, can I get a moment? Watch me when I'm talking. And we be on the same shit. I could let the fame go, roll it up and face it. Do it till I say so. Counting all this money, about to hit the club and rain calls. Never gotta worry, this the type of life I pray for. We be on the same shit. I could let the fame go, roll it up and face it. Do it till I say so. Counting all this money, about to hit the club and rain calls. Never gotta worry, this the type of life I pray for. And we be.
So it's now almost 10 p.m. I've been up since 5 a.m. as I usually am. And I'm just sitting here trying to, learn how to do proper sales emails. Never really done sales. Never really knew how to approach people from that perspective. And this week was really a learning week for me. Sitting here doing all of this, it kind of hit me. I've been learning basically all this week, last week, on how to do proposal, how to do sales, because I've really, we've launched this Orphe Media thing, and obviously one of the biggest obstacles at the moment is getting clients. the sales part is really, really important, for us to actually start getting traction. What hit me was I was always labeled as a really bad learner. I was always labeled as very lazy. And I was terrible in school. Like in high school, I was really bad. I had bad grades, family, and teachers, friends around me labeling me as a failure in the future. Now, what I've come to realize is it's hard to be motivated to learn and to, give all your best to things you don't care about. I'm sorry, I didn't care about math, physics. I'm sorry, it just wasn't my thing. And I always was punished for that. And it did get into my head. I always thought, that there's something wrong with me, that I actually won't be able to make it because maybe I am lazy, maybe I don't know how to learn. But now, sort of nowadays, especially in the, last 4 years, I love learning. I absolutely love learning. And the reason I do love learning is because I do what I want to do. I do it for myself. I choose what I want to learn about. I choose where I want to, improve myself. And most of it is what, makes me better as a person, what makes me understand other people, and also, what helps me, for my business. So I've just, I've just spent literally all day learning, sales, and done this for the past few weeks, and I don't even feel it. And I truly believe that the amount of work I put in all of this, both learning and doing, is so much more than anybody in my class from back then. That is ridiculous. And so that label is absolute bullshit. So if you do what you love, then you need to keep learning, you need to keep evolving, and it's going to be easy because you'll just freaking love it, because you'll see that every single day, you're just getting closer to your end goal. So yeah, that just hit me, and I felt that I want to share that. Yeah, that's what it is.
Like, my mom was always like, right? She did everything right. Like, she taught me everything, how to treat women right, how to act right and all that stuff, not to curse, to respect others, to be nice, a good person, all those things, right? But you can never protect from, what's just happening sometimes, like on the streets and whatever. Like, I was like, I almost turned into